Okay. Now we have to do these in 15-minute segments because if we go too long, we're gonna go over, and won't do us any good. Okay. So, anyways, like I said in my last video, I explained that the greatest mentor I ever had was my uncle. The next greatest mentor was my dad, and I will tell you what, my dad had, for a long time, had a hard time with alcohol. He really was having a hard time coping to reach the American dream. And in the first few years I knew my dad, when I was just a baby, a young little girl, I didn't really know him that well because the only time I ever remembered about him was he was either had a kid of peels in his hand and basically was always kind of out of control and drunk and everything else. But you know, he was a really good man. But I mean, I didn't really get a chance to know the guy. And like a lot of people who recover from the disease and they're as they become a recovering alcoholic and go through sobriety, my father wanted to change his life for the better. And in 1976, my father made a goal. And he said, I'm going to quit drinking. And he said to my mom, I says, I don't even know my own children. I don't know my sons. I don't know my daughters. All I know about them is the fact is they're my flesh and blood. That's it. I don't know what they like. I don't know anything of what they, what their favorite things are. And one of the things that he did, and he worked diligently up to his death up until 2003 when he passed on, was try to make corrections in his life so he could fix the problems that he had done and all the wrongs he done. And that makes him very much a hero because, like a lot of people, we have to correct the things that we have done wrong, the wrongs we have done. I'm a compulsive eater. That's my illness. I'm a foodaholic. Okay, if you ever ask me if it's food, I'll eat it. I don't care. I'll just guzzle it down to no end because food, especially Christmas and holidays, is really when the food is just present. And my God, I will just turn on the food vacuum and suck it down. In fact, there's an interesting quote from the Ballad of the Snow Teen that describes me to a T, which talks about as I was eating, I sounded like a big, like a fireman stoking a big hungry furnace. And as the jaws closed, you could hear the clang. And the mouthfuls of food would be shoveled down the maw. And I'm paraphrasing it, but basically that made me think. If that's the way I see myself or see my character, I'd hate to see what others think of me. My God. But here's the thing. As a Snow Queen, I have the ability to change a lot of things for the better for everybody. This is one of the things about this new area that we're entering into is that we can have the ability to change the things that are wrong. We have the change to fix those things that are problematic and to improve in our lives, in our perspectives, and to work on making what was wrong right again. Now, the thing that sucks is I only got about another 8 minutes, so I got to try to cram those 8 minutes with things that are useful. So I suppose we can start with the most basic thing on this segment, which is we're talking about needing to make things right that were wrong, and of course that's still a living goal that I'm still working on to this day, is to try to fix the things that I have done wrong in my life and caused pain to other people. Now, the next video stream, we're going to talk about exactly what Hans Christian Andersen really talking about in the case of the Snow Queen story versus the ones from the other characters such as Bridget Fonda in 2002, and there were several other editions. That was a Russian version that came out in 1966, I think. I happened to watch the original, it in Russian. It really was quite good. Thank God I had English captioning. I had a chance to get to learn a few Russian words, but yeah, alright. Anyway, we're going to go to that. We're going to go to the next video. We're going to talk about the Snow Queen, the real North American Snow Queen, versus the fantasy Snow Queen from Hans Christian Andersen. And again, that's going to be a 15-minute segment. And we're going to try to break these down to 15-minute videos so we can upload them straight from the phone instead of have to go through a lot of additional processing, because that took so darn long last time. So, let's go to the next video.